All right, 99.9 Punk World Radio FM. You guys already know what time it is. And right here, we are live. First interview back after the holiday Christmas season. We have New Jersey's finest taking over the Canadian radio station airways. That's right, we got Carpet Ride right here, right now, live in the building on Facebook, YouTube, and of course, the FM dial here in Prescott, Ontario. Tom, Josh, how are you guys doing tonight?
We're doing great, man. We're doing great. How you doing?
Excellent, brother. It's great to be back. What's up?
Hey, man, it is actually great to chat with you guys. I gotta say, I know we just spoke about it, but again, hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas holiday season. I know down here in Canada, we ate way too much turkey. Definitely got the gut rot going on, but you know, we're not out of the woods yet. You know what I mean? We still got New Year's to deal with, so hopefully we can flush it all out with the booze we drink.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
What are you drinking, Josh?
Yeah,
Hell, Moosey. Getting into the Canadian spirit.
Nice. Very cool.
That's the good stuff right there, man. That will definitely, it wets your whistle, but it cleans your sinuses at the same time, man. That's the good stuff.
Oh yeah. Tommy's got a little hot chocolate with marshmallows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Little candy cane in it. Oh yeah. Come on.
Yeah. Stirring it around. I know how you do. It's wild.
But guys, I know you guys are very busy individuals, so of course I'm going to dive right into this interview. But I got to take you back to the beginning of this amazing band where you guys actually came together to form this band in the year 2007. I was wondering if you can just tell us the origin story behind Carpet Ride, and of course, like, how did you guys all first meet and of course come together as one to form this killer band?
Yeah, so actually Josh and I grew up on the same street in Howell, New Jersey. We met when we were about 6 or 7 years old, actually playing a little bit of hockey. I think that's how we initially, that was the first time we actually met. It
was a rivalry. It was like our side of the block versus your side of the block.
Our side would always kick Josh's side's ass, and we felt kind of bad, so I invited him over one day to.
You guys had a lot of talent, but we had the heart. And the slap shot. My brother had a wicked slap shot.
We were longtime friends, and we went to the same school, and I think it was in 2000 and I want to say 2001-ish, 2002. We decided to get together and play music. I played drums. Josh played guitar. We formed a band called No Apology. We played a bunch of local shows, and actually had a lot of great opportunities. We had a lot of fun. That band turned into Josh and I looking for basically somebody who can do the singing duties. I played drums, Josh played guitar, looking for a singer. And we kind of threw our hands up. We're like, you know what? Let's just sing. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I picked up the bass guitar. It's a lot easier to sing and play bass as opposed to playing drums and singing. I don't know how Phil Collins does it, but I couldn't handle that. So we found a drummer. Actually, we found a couple of drummers, but we settled on Andrew in 2007. That's when the band really kind of started making music and playing a lot of shows and doing its thing.
Mm-hmm.
And when you guys said that actually you had a band previously before it that like kind of formed and evolved into Carpet Ride, I was wondering if you can actually just tell us a bit more about No Apology. Like, do you guys actually have any original music that's actually circulating out there? And if so, like, where can the listeners actually find it and track it down if they actually did not know about No Apology?
I don't think anybody wants to hear those songs, and we hid them. I don't think anybody can.
We have a friend, Lauren, who's been a friend of ours since childhood, who has a shoebox somewhere, and I think that she has all of the No Apology tapes and CDs. But other than that, like, I don't even think like Spotify, MySpace wasn't even a thing when we were playing in No Apology.
Yeah,
that was like pre-MySpace days. That's how we're dinosaurs. That's how old we are.
Yeah, the recordings from No Apology were done with I think it was like a one mic, like actual tape recording. We have one tape, and I think we actually have a taped live show that we passed around high school and passed around to our friends and whatnot. There's probably like 20 or 30 of these tapes floating around, but it's our first, I think it was our second live show at the Stone Pony in 2002. It was funny. Like the audience was our parents with their camcorders.
And it was like a blizzard outside.
It was
like
a snowstorm
6 feet of snow.
So funny story about No Apology. So we had an opportunity to play the Birch Hill main stage. And if anybody's from the East Coast, New Jersey, in the pop punk scene in the 2000s, they know about Birch Hill. Birch Hill, every band passed through Birch Hill. Mest, Homegrown, Midtown, all the great Jersey bands and really national acts passed through Birch Hill at some point. We somehow got an opportunity to open up for a band that had a song that was, I think, picked up by Pepsi. Remember Pepsi Blue? They were called Sev.
Oh man, I miss Pepsi Blue. So good, man.
I unlocked the memory. Yeah, but this band, I guess they got picked up by Pepsi, and they were on the Pepsi Blue commercial, and they were playing Birch Hill. We somehow got chosen to open up for them. The place was packed out, and we were on the main stage. Birch Hill had 2 stages. They had it was called the Stingray stage, where it was like more local acts, more like smaller kind of setup. And then there was the main stage. And if you played the main stage, in our minds, like, wow, we made it, And
well, we were supposed to play the Stingray stage, and then I think a band on the Sev tour dropped out or something, or they had to leave a day early. So a slot on the main stage opened up miraculously, and we were like the next in line for some reason to take that slot.
Well, and, we took it. Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, I know Josh is probably.
We were very underdeveloped as a band at the time, I would say.
Well, listen,
we went through like every issue that you have as a band, and we learned a lot of our mistakes happened at that show, and I don't think we've ever made those mistakes again live.
Well, let me tell you the mistake Josh is referring to. Okay, he's referring to bringing only one guitar. He played guitar. First song, he strums, I don't know, I guess a little too hard. Strings break.
That's too exciting.
No backup guitar. There's places packed out.
It's so awkward.
Oh, it was so bad. Like we not only we never really played shows. We didn't even know how. Like if it happened now, I feel like we would do fine. We would make jokes and kind of just play something. But
and I'd have a backup guitar too. So.
Yeah. But that was I think it was No Apologies last show. And after that, we kind of said, yeah, maybe we should just, focus on sports or whatever. And then we do something else. Yeah. And then we made our way back to music. And, Carpet Ride formed in 2007. It was the
worst time for pop punk probably in our area.
It was a tough time because it was, I guess
there's new.
Yeah, the scene was changing. The genre kind of changed to a little bit more the type of music that we weren't really into. We played, and we still do play, like old school, kind of like
fun-loving,
pop punk, Drive-Thru Records kind of era pop punk. And the scene in 2007, 2008, 2009, when we were really playing a lot,
it got angrier.
Yeah, it was going through a change, but now I feel like we're kind of right back where we were in the early 2000s, but I'm sure we'll get to that in a few.
Yeah, we play the long game,
We're for the long run.
And I have to ask as well, just going back to that show for 1 minute, because I'm actually kind of intrigued. Like, how did you guys actually, did one of the bands that were actually there give you another guitar to play, Josh? Or was it just like that awkward, what?
They did not.
Excuse my language, but fuck it, we're done.
What happens? What happened? I don't even remember.
I remember because I was I'm still traumatized from that.
Are you sure I didn't? You know what? I think I had a backup guitar. I just didn't have it on stage, so it was and I was not. I wasn't quick with reacting to the hiccup, but I did. I brought my Fernandez Native as my backup. I think just took me 10 minutes to get it, and these guys are so awkward on stage at the time.
He blames me.
This guy's behind the drums. My singer, I think, ran to the bathroom because he was shitting his pants. Remember? He was actually.
Remember that? Yeah.
That was another thing. Our singer was so nervous that he was in this bathroom stall. It had no door on it, and he was taking a shit. I remember going in, Yo, where's Ryan? He's like squatting over the friggin' toilet. He's like,
And by the way,
shitting his brains out.
when this is all going on, right? The bands that we were opening up for, and I think the band even went on before us. They were like professional touring musicians.
Tripside, yeah. Tripside, yeah.
They were awesome.
I'll never forget the band that we had to go after.
Oh,
they were so good.
Yeah, I'm surprised we still played music after that experience. By the way,
well, our existence is embarrassing, so it's like it kind of makes sense that we would.
It's true. I just realized something.
We live too embarrassed to shit of ourselves. That's what we do as a band.
We embrace
individuals. When we go on stage, the main goal, the secondary goal is to play music. I think the main goal is just like, how can I make Tommy feel like just lesser of a human, and just, he tries to ridicule me and stuff, and we've just known each other since we were like literally said like 6 or 7 years old. So I think that kind of like, I think the crowd kind of feeds off of that whole vibration of our relationship and our history, and they see that we're just having fun up there. So the mistakes and the stuff and the hiccups that happened today are easily recovered by just our banter and our antics, I would say.
Yeah.
Which the
good thing about it too is you guys like made those mistakes very early on in your guys' career as a band. So it's good that you made those mistakes then, because then you can learn from it at a very, very young age within the band. Now, if it happens now, bring like 2 or 3 guitars on stage. You never know what's going to happen. It's just those mistakes that you made them when you were younger. Now that you're matured as a band, boom. You know what I mean? It's so much easier to actually recover from, like you said, Josh.
Yeah. I think Josh still only brings 1 guitar to shows. I think.
No, I bring backups.
I'm just kidding.
No, we're still like a bunch of circus idiots. I wouldn't say we're mature, but we definitely are more prepared these days.
No, of course. But
we know how it works.
But I gotta say, the spirit of that show and that and just us, I don't know, just kind of, I don't want to say winging it, because we don't wing it. We love the whole process. We love the craft of music. We love everything about being in a band and making music. But for some reason, I don't know what it is. I don't want to say like we revert back to like our childhood, but it's just like, I don't know, something happens and we're on stage together. It's just this like fun, I don't know how to even describe it. It's a fun, light, silly experience. Not only for me and Josh and Andrew, but also people watching. I don't know, something about this group that is just a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
He's not lying.
And also, November 25th of 2010, you guys actually dropped the killer 8-track album titled Love Songs Gone Wrong. I was wondering if you can actually just tell us a bit more about this earlier released album, and of course, is it actually still out there to be streamed or purchased today?
Yeah, so it absolutely is still out there. It's on all the major platforms, Amazon, Apple, and all that, Spotify. You can stream it on Spotify. That album actually was recorded. So we started the recording process, and this is our first time in a studio. I think it was in 2008 or 9 when we first went into the studio, and it was about a 2.5-year process where we recorded. I mean, because we didn't have a lot of money, we recorded when we could. So we had side jobs. I was still in college, so whenever we had enough money to record, we would just go to the studio, drop a song. We recorded with Silent Owl. They were it was John Calora, who was the original member of the Ataris. We recorded with them. Paul was also critical. He was an engineer that was instrumental in putting that album together. But yeah, those songs, it was 8 songs. I believe 2 or 3 of them were recorded with Doug Rockwell, who was actually a 4th member in the band in the last couple of years. He's actually out in California doing amazing work. He actually just won an Emmy. Yeah, he's doing great things. But that album was the first time that we ever were in a real studio, and so we got together. These songs were written over the course of a few years. The album took, I believe, like like I said, 2.5 years to complete, and you can kind of see the evolution of the music through that album. It's kind of funny. I actually listened to it because I took a 10-year hiatus from music, and Josh stuck with it, and but I kind of took off, and I haven't listened to the songs until recently. And I remember I listened to them about a year ago when I first got back involved, but I listened to it again recently, and it's so funny. I listened to it the whole thing through, and you can hear like the evolution of the songs, and it was a fun album. It really was. It was a truly fun album.
That's our primary release, I would say. We don't really have like we just recently released music, but Love Songs Gone Wrong is like it's not only just our Frosh album, but also I'd say it's like all our greatest hits. I feel like all those songs were just like those were the songs that we played live.
We still do.
And those were, yeah, we still play those. Like that's our main catalog, I would say.
Yeah.
Aside from some of the newer ones that we just started to release, we still have other ones that we play that we don't even have recorded that have just stuck along for all the years, like Giving Up, and people still sing the words even though we've never had them on record. Like people love them, so we've always played them. We have, like I said, we play the long game, so like we still have intentions to go into the studio and like record these songs that we have, but we kind of just we're chill about it. We're not in any rush. We have a great catalog already, and it's not huge, but it's quality, and those songs are really fun and they're all really catchy, and that's like our primary. Like those are our primary songs.
Yeah,
Love Songs Gone
so
Wrong.
it's funny. What Josh just mentioned that some of the songs weren't recorded, and we still have a couple that we never recorded that we play at shows. We've been playing at shows for a long time. One of those was that baseball song.
Yeah. So that's on record now. We just released that.
Released that one. It's a kind of like it was a joke song we would open shows with, and we never recorded it. And then we finally did. And I'm glad we did because it came out great. Chris Padami at Portrait did an amazing job with our three song unofficial EP.
Yeah, he's a legend.
Released.
He's awesome.
He recorded the Starting Line, Midtown. You name it. Any of the East Coast Jersey bands, early original pop punk bands, either worked with in some capacity or recorded with Chris, and he does amazing work.
Mm-hmm. We lost DJ.
Oh, I'm here. My apologies. Just had a little internet hiccup there for a minute. But when you actually mentioned as well this amazing album, I have to say, man, this one's for Roland is honestly my favorite song, man. I find that such a rad opener to the record, man. Like the way you guys open it, I find that just like carries on and makes every other song just fit in so goddamn perfectly.
I appreciate
that. Yeah, it's pretty weird because that song was we peppered it into our set list, I feel like, when we were playing Super Active. But like when we came back 10 years later, that became like the song that we opened with. We like the shows we play now, we actually open with that song. And I feel like it wasn't always in the set. We were always, a little all over the place with like getting bored of songs, and we wanted to keep ourselves excited, and that was like the first song that we recorded on record. I think, right? Wasn't that the first song on the album?
It's the first song on the album, but it was one of the last songs we recorded. So
really?
Yeah, so
you remember? Okay.
Yeah, so that song was one of the later songs, but yeah, I remember vividly how that song came about. Josh was playing that lead, dun, 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 over and over again before practices, and I had a relative named Roland who walked downstairs, and he goes,
"That's really good,
really good." He goes, "Make that a song," and we literally wrote that song in like 5 minutes, and then that was it.
We called it "This One's for Roland."
This was for Roland. That's what we call it. Yeah.
And Andrew comes in with the drums, and it's like sounds a little bit like Machine Guns. And Andrew made that song, man. He slayed it. He was like a one-take Jake on the drums in the studio too. Our producers were always like flabbergasted by like how quick he would just blow through these songs. And I remember that song on drums was like a little more difficult. I thought we'd have to spend a little more time on it because the drums are like, he's like the when the verse comes in, it's pretty
Oh yeah,
it's
no,
pretty rapid, and he just like played it one time through, and he's like, all right, I think we got everything we need. And I was like, what? How
yeah,
did he do that? How
yeah.
the hell did you do that?
It sounds like it almost sounds like, you know, the drums were kind of like, I don't know, like they were electronic or like overly produced. I could attest. I was there. He did like 2 takes, one just for like assurances, you know, and that was it. And they used those exact drums. It was really amazing.
Yeah, good song. That one's fun.
And also as well, Tom, I know you mentioned a few moments ago about how you took 10 years off from music, and I know Josh and Andrew kind of kept at it. I could only ask you, man, because I don't know if it's a personal like scenario or anything, but what actually made you take a decade-year hiatus, and of course, what actually made you decide to reemerge in the music industry? Because I do know that obviously like pop punk took such a huge blow for so many years, like so many transitions within the music, but I have to say I'm super glad and happy just to actually not only have my station be a part of pop punk, but also to kind of see it reemerge and become popular again, man. Because I grew up with pop punk,
Yeah,
you
no.
know. So I mean,
Well,
I remember having to actually pretend that I didn't like it because people would be like, "Oh, pop punk's trash," and I would sit there and be like, "No, it's not, man. It's gnarly, bro. It's awesome. Like, listen to it. You'll like it."
Well, let me just say, part of the reason why it's making a comeback is people like you doing this kind of stuff. You know, I actually watched your interview with Josh, and I've watched your interview with Cone from Sum 41. A lot of legends in the game, and what you're doing is amazing, and it has a huge reach. And so I thank you for that. With me, I actually went to you know, when the band was, and it was interesting because the band was actually starting to do really cool stuff. We had a lot of opportunities. We had a 4th member, Doug Rockwell, who's, like I said, I mentioned him before. He's out in California doing amazing work, a real amazing musician and a friend. Yeah, I was set to I graduated college in 2011, I want to say, and I took the LSAT. It's the admission test to law school. And I got into a bunch of schools in the area, and it's something I always wanted to do. And I went to law school, and I'm not some genius where I can just not study and get, and pass. I had to really really work to pass and, do school. So I kind of like geared for a few years, and then the bar exam, obviously, and then the first few years of work. And so that, and I can't believe it was 10 years because it felt like a few months, but it was 10 years where I just was basically involved, with school, with the bar, with work. And then last summer, well, it was 2 summers ago now, it was August of 2022. Yeah, it was not last summer, but summer before. Josh called me up, and Josh is a band, Tug of War Machine. That's the band that continued. Josh has had that, and you had him on the show, so you know all about Tug of War Machine.
We basically just took unreleased Carpet Ride songs. That's all Tug of War Machine was. I had a laundry list of songs that, and then
but I remember you telling me that, Josh, about the unreleased like Tug of War was actually unreleased Carpet Ride music. I remember you telling me that.
It was part of like the name. It was like Tommy went to law school, so he was adhering to life demands, popping a bunch of Adderall. I just kept playing music, so that was like, I could have like done something else, but I kept getting pulled into my artistic creativity.
Yeah, well,
just went with the.
But at least though, guys, now you actually have an individual that went to law school that got the degree, so you don't have to worry about hiring an attorney or anything like that. If a record deal comes your way or a record contract, you don't even need to worry about that. Tom's just like, sit back, boys, hold my beer, I got this.
But Tommy was getting to how he got back into music.
Yeah, well, it was right. So Josh called me. This is last summer.
I told him. I tug of warred him into.
He said my bass player is his bass player was on vacation and they needed a fill in, and he says, I got these like 10 songs, and of course, like Tug of War Machine songs, they're shorter. A lot of them are short in length, but there's still songs nonetheless. And he goes, can you learn these 10 songs?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like 12 actually.
It was 12. Yeah, it was a lot of songs.
12 song set list.
And he goes,
like,
he goes, we're opening for Sum 41 and Simple Plan. And I said, you got to be kidding me. I said, first of all, I thought he was messing with me. And I'm like, you're not opening for Simple Plan, Sum 41. Sure enough, Tug War Machine was opening up for these two legendary bands. I actually plan on going to that show because, I mean, I love Simple Plan, I love Sum 41, and I'm talking to my wife about it, and she's like, "You haven't picked up a bass in 10 years, and you don't want to like mess his songs up." And I'm like, "Yeah." I told Josh, I'm like, "Josh, I really don't think I'm the right guy for this. I don't." And he basically told me, he's like, "Listen, we're gonna have a fun time. You're gonna learn these songs. It's what I needed to hear." I buckled down. I learned the songs, and I realized halfway through, half of them were unreleased Carpet Rise songs. So it wasn't as hard as I thought.
He actually, he already knew like "Oh Little Rock Star."
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them were
Carpet Ride played that song live a few times. It was one of those songs that we've performed but never recorded. And I wasn't sure if Carpet Ride was going to get back together. You know, Tommy going down the highway in his Rolls Royce with his, being a baddie.
I don't have a Rolls Royce. I don't know what
a big baddie. I didn't know if he wanted to play Carpet Ride over there, so I was going to take those songs and I was going to put them out there regardless. But when Tommy filled in for that show in particular, he looked at the set list and he didn't realize, but he was like, "Oh, these are actually songs that I played." You played these songs.
I wrote these songs.
You wrote these songs.
I'm like, wait a minute. I just sing this song. I'm like, wait a minute.
Man, I owe you like $35 in royalties. Oh, no.
Yeah, but
he's gonna sue me.
But after that, I got bit again, and I went out. I always wanted a custom shop P bass. I went out and bought a really nice P bass, and then once I put the monetary, once I invested the money in these instruments, I'm like, I always had like, me and Josh worked our way up to getting our dream rigs through the shady way, Craigslist, and
way. The same way we found our drummer.
Yeah, exactly. But after that, we reconnected. We always kept in touch, but we musically reconnected, and we wrote a couple songs in like 5 minutes, and then we recorded with Chris. That's here we are.
That's how we roll.
Yeah.
And also as well, guys, July 8th of 2023 in Ashbury Park, New Jersey, you guys actually took the stage together for the first time in a 10-year, one-decade span. I was wondering, for Tom, Josh, and I know Andrew couldn't be here because he's sick, but definitely hope he feels better. If you don't mind me asking you guys this, like, what was it like actually being back on stage again after a 10-year hiatus? Like, was it a difficult process to do, or did it all just come back naturally like it was 10 years ago?
It came right back, and I got to tell you that we played with. It was the greatest show to come back to. We opened up for a local band called The Ones You Forgot, and then Goalkeeper, Eternal Boy, and Driveways. And I don't know if you've seen recently, Driveways was I think Mark Hoppus retweeted, shared Driveways music. They also, I think Mark gave a shout out to Goalkeeper recently. Those bands are doing amazing. Yeah. They're doing amazing things, and they were not only the coolest guys ever. They're playing the kind of music we played, and not only did we mesh, like personally, they were like, I feel like I've known these guys for a long time. They were really cool guys, nice guys, very welcoming. I told them the story, like, look, I haven't played in a million years, and we're doing a sound check, and they were just all hanging out. They were, we were reminiscing of the old glory pop punk days, but I gotta say, those guys are doing amazing things. They're bringing back the old music. I think it was 1,000-person venue we played. It was like 700-800 people were there. It was packed out. People were rocking out to old school pop punk music. It was amazing to see. It was the best show I've ever could have imagined coming back to. I don't even know how we got on that show, to be honest, but
that was cool, man. Yeah, it was a great. The Asbury Lanes, we played there back in the day, but they completely remodeled it and redid it, and it was just like the venue. I was boycotting it for a while because I was like, oh man, I miss the old lanes. I don't like what they do and they're making it all shiny and fancy. But it was beautiful venue. I mean, the sound was awesome. It was such a cool.
It was awesome.
awesome night. Yeah, that was a really cool show. Probably top tier. Like Tommy said, like we're bougie, man. We just like I don't know how we stepped in shit and got on that. These dudes are like putting in footwork. They're doing little tours and stuff. You know, they're out there spreading the word of the pop punk all over. You know, face to face. They're like little soldiers. Uh, Carpet Ride was very lucky to get on that. I would say, but it worked well. So
and they're just really good. Their management is awesome. Scott Waldman. I mean, they just were, and the Lanes staff, the Lanes booking folks, they were just. I mean, everybody was amazing, and what it did, you know, for me, it was like, wow, this music is back. You know, this pop punk music. At least all I can speak to is our area, but our area loves old school pop punk music again, and that's what's driving, you know, us playing together. Obviously, you know, Josh's project and you know, just continuing to play this kind of music.
And also, guys, October 27th of 2023, you guys actually released your most recent single titled Clashes. I was wondering if you can actually tell us a bit more about this rad single, and of course, what is the inspiration behind it, man? Because I gotta say, this is an absolute killer song.
yeah, that could have easily been a Tug song, to be honest with you.
Yeah, probably.
But
it probably was.
That's just another one of the songs I've had in the pocket for many years, and it's just like you get to a place where you want to write new songs. Sometimes you get inspired and you want to write new songs, and like you'll do that, but then you'll always revert back to like these certain like songs that you had back there just like stick with you. And that was one of those songs, like that chorus like just stuck with me for so long. And then like the verse, like the damn, like coming right in, like damn, the drums, that whole song. I probably had that in the back pocket for like over our 10-year hiatus. I think I wrote that. I think it could have been a song that was on Love Songs Gone Wrong. That's how old it is. But I don't know. It was just time. Like we had studio booked. We were trying to pick the best songs to bring, and we wanted to have a variety. So, you know, if you listen to Baseball Mashed Potatoes, and then you go listen to Horseshoes and Hand Grenades, and then Clashes, you can kind of see, you know, all of our approaches to music, which is, you know, it's not just one. I guess we don't just have like one gear, you know, that it kind of shows off that we have like multiple kind of gears that we can get into. And yeah, that song was huge, man. We played that live for the first time at the Lanes, and that was before it was even released. And I just remember, I think we closed with that song.
Yeah, we closed. Yeah.
It was a rock, man. It rocks. It was really fun. I would love to play that live again.
Yeah, that song, it was funny. So I went to remember going to your house, Josh, like last year, and I kind of brought Horseshoes and Hand Grenades to the table. We both had the baseball song. We played that for a million.
Yeah.
And then we needed a third, and I remember we were on Josh's old computer and we're digging through these old videos of Josh just rocking out with a guitar and just kind of like, you know, I do the same thing where my phone is full of videos of me just playing bass and just kind of like, oh, here's an idea and this is like a melody or whatever. And that song, I remember when I heard it, it was Josh. I think you were probably like in your early 20s, maybe, you know, like
top off.
And he's sitting there and you know,
nice bronze tan, bronze tan,
rocking out with his guitar, and I'm like, we got to do that one. That's the one, and we just, you know, we put it together. But that Josh was the brainchild behind that song for sure.
And also, guys, aside from Clashes just dropping, and I have to ask, what is next for Carpet Ride, man? Because honestly, you guys are back. You guys are better than ever. Honestly, you guys are back like 10 years haven't even passed. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are really back at it, man. I'm super happy. What is next for Carpet Ride? Like, is there anything we happen to miss? Anything else you guys still want to talk about, touch on, or promote?
Yeah, I mean, so the cool thing about this band is because it's unique in that, you know, Josh and I have been friends forever. So we're always going to have, this band is never going to die. I don't see a scenario where this band ever drop, you know, just dies. We Josh and I we keep in touch outside of music, and we both have the bug. We both have the itch to play. And as long as we have the itch to play, and you've been friends with somebody for 30 years, I mean, that's, and we talk all the time, music is going to continue to come out for sure. We Andrew, our drummer, he really truly is like that third puzzle piece. He fits so well, and I wish he could have been here. I know he wanted to be here tonight. He told me, he just texted me again. And I think he is watching. I'm not saying this because he's watching. I'm saying this because I mean it, that he truly is. He is that third critical component of this band, where if you put us in a room for 5 minutes and you just, with a couple of instruments, we're going to come out with a song in 5 minutes. I mean, it's weird how that happens, and it's rare. It's rare. So, and I don't want to I don't say it's like easy to do, but like, we there's a lot of, I mean, Josh is really one of the most creative people I ever met in my life when it comes to music. He and I'm a little bit more. I don't know.
You got him blushing over here, there, Tom.
I know. He's just burning his pink his shirt there. No, but everybody has to have, because if there were two Joshes in a band, it wouldn't work, and so they would clash. So. And so
so tickle each other's butt cheeks or something.
Yeah, there you go. Right. No, but it works. It works. It works very well.
It's really fun. Nah, me and Tommy and Andrew have like probably the best chemistry that I've ever witnessed in a band. Man, it's so hard to find members that you really click with and stuff. And I learned that in Tug of War Machine. We didn't become a solid unit until, more recently. Our last release is the first release where everyone was involved and everyone was creative, and I finally found a unit, and I was like, but that took 7 years. Like, I went through members for like from 2016 to 2022 or 2020. It took years and years of going and teaching different people songs and finding out, oh man, this person's not gonna last, or this person's not gonna last. I gotta do it again, and I gotta do it again, and then it's like me, Tommy, and Andrew. You put us in a room, like you said, with some instruments, we could write a full-length album literally in one day. And we're not saying the songs are going to be excellent, but they're going to be songs that we love. And then what's going to happen is we're going to go on stage and we're going to perform them like we love them. And then other people are going to be like, holy shit, man, this is fun. And that's just basically us in a nutshell, I would say. It's like we're just out there to have fun, and it's just a vibe that we've always approached music with. Where I remember Tommy, we played a show and it was like we went on after like a death metal band, and we came on right after them, and our first song, and the entire song there was this guy like dressed in a black cloak, just like giving Tommy the middle finger, like the entire song, and things like that are like. And then Tommy, like after the song, was like, "Oh no! Like, there's this guy. He hates us. He just sacrificed a bunch of small animals, and now he's coming here and giving me the finger." And it's like Tommy literally said that in the microphone, and like everyone's laughing, and then like it's like that's just how we approach everything. Like you can't make fun of us. You can't do any of that, because our existence, like I said, is like we're there to almost troll music. It's almost like a Limp Bizkit vibe. It's like those dudes they're hilarious, but I even get a lot of my guitar influence from Wes Borland and stuff. He's like one of the most unique, creative people, that I grew up listening to. I feel like just with his entire appearance and the stuff he plays. So we kind of.
But honestly, Josh, I think the guy with that cloak, though, I think that guy with the cloak was asking for it, though. Realistically, I mean, I understand you went to a metal show before the punk started, but you are wearing a cloak. I mean, you're kind of you're wearing a cloak, and you're taunting. You're asking for it, bro.
He specifically hated Tommy. He wasn't giving me the finger.
He probably liked.
I don't know why. He didn't like Tommy for some reason. Yeah. I don't know why. Maybe it was his triceps. Maybe Tommy's got pretty big triceps.
I don't know. But I think he thought the cloak would made him invisible. I think he had an invisibility cloak on and it wasn't. So
That could have been very possible.
I you ever see that? What was that movie where the guy? What was it? Was it Grandma's Boy? When that?
Oh yeah.
How did he see me?
Adios, turd nuggets.
Oh my God.
JP. That's exactly what the dude looked like, JP.
Yeah, that was him. Maybe it was him.
I'm sure you still have nightmares about him every day, Tom, even though it was like 20 years ago.
Oh my God, that was so weird. Yeah, there was a lot of fun moments. We
take the worst moments and turn them into fun, so it doesn't matter with Carpet Ride. That's what we do. If there's something that goes wrong now, we did early on in our career, we've made those mistakes. Like, we thrive off of things like going wrong now, because that gives us an opportunity to hone our skill of like, oh man, we've fucked up so many times that this will be easy to recover from. We'll just, somehow we kind of love those situations now where, Tom, you can ridicule me on stage for breaking a guitar string, or, vice versa. Something happens. I remember one time we were playing the Paramus at VFW, and Tommy, it was like there was some kind of grounding issue with the microphone. He was getting like punched in the face with electricity, and his face was like so droopy and like sad, looking over at me. Like, I could just tell like he was not like, I was fine, and we were about to play a show, and he's like terrified because every time he puts his mouth to the microphone, it feels like he's taking a left hook. And he was like looking at me like scared and sad. And I remember just being like, it's going to be okay, man. Like, we're going to fix this issue.
I don't remember it going quite like that, but.
You don't remember?
I don't remember you comforting me. I don't remember that at all.
I didn't comfort him at all, actually. I kind of just laughed. But yeah, it was hilarious. I'll never forget that.
Oh man!
Do you remember that, Tommy?
I remember being electrocuted like 10 times. Yes, that day.
Yeah, that was hilarious. I love that kind of stuff. See, like, we love that kind of stuff now. That's the kind of stuff we look forward to.
That was a band. So we opened up for Patent Pending for a string of shows. That was one of those shows we opened up for Patent Pending. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we used to always play their holiday gigs too when we roll through Jersey.
A lot of fun. Yeah, man.
And guys, before we actually part ways here this evening, I have to ask, obviously I know how to follow Carpet Ride and, of course, Tug of War on social media, but for the individuals that are actually just finding out about Carpet Ride out here in Canada, how can we actually go about following not only this killer band, but, of course, Tom, Josh, and, of course, Andrew across all social media platforms?
Yeah, so Carpet Ride Official is our handle on Instagram. We are on Facebook. I know it's kind of becoming a dead platform for bands, but we are on Facebook. It's the original Facebook page we had back in the day. Carpet Ride Rock, I believe, is the handle for that. And then our own handles. Josh, what's yours? I want to look mine up right now. I actually forgot.
Yeah, you can either follow, Tom Official, which I manage. Tommy manages the Carpet Ride page. So anytime you want to interact with him, he's there. And then I'm Earth to Joshua on Instagram if you want to follow me personally. And Spotify you can follow us on. We're on Twitter. Wait, is Carpet Ride on X?
So we're not on X, no, but we are on Spotify. You just type in Carpet Ride. We're the only Carpet Ride like official band on there. My personal handle is Tommy Russo NJ. I started playing a little bit with a couple guys locally. It's going to be called Vanity Score, and be on the lookout for that. No social media for that yet. And if you want to harass Andrew for not being here, his handle, he's going to kill me for giving this out.
Sir Pugsley.
Sir Pugsley, I think. Sir Pug. Oh, hold on, we got.
I love it.
Yeah.
We got to.
That's actually his handle. I love it, man. That's killer.
Hold on. Yeah.
Everyone go find Andrew because he's like. I'm pretty sure his handle was created so no one could find him. So everyone go find him.
I got it right here. It's Sir _Pugsley _ Von _ Pug. Sir Pugsley Von Pug.
Sir Pugsley Von Pug. Maybe it's something we don't understand. Maybe it's from like
That's like so
a comic
unique.
book.
Honestly, I gotta say that is so unique, man. I actually enjoy. I
Yeah.
actually like it. I'm not just saying that because I'm interviewing you guys and I know he's watching. I'm just saying like that's actually very unique.
Oh,
Yo,
You know,
Tommy.
Sir Vonsley Pug. Like I love it.
See, DJ Immortal said it best. I think you should change the other project from Vanity Score to Von Pug.
Von Pugsley.
It still starts with a V, dude.
Von Pugsley.
It still starts
know
with
what?
a V.
It sounds very. It sounds like it sounds like someone from the royal family would be named that, like Von Pugsley. You know
Von
what I mean?
Pugsley.
Like
Yeah.
I don't know why.
get
but
him like a crown. Get him like a crown and one of those like little king things. A little. I'm fucking live right now. I can't even think about it. A little king. The
staff.
king has like the freaking staff. There it is. Yeah, get him one of those when he walks on stage. You know.
It'd be perfect if you knew Andrew and if he was here. It's funnier if you actually saw him. Whenever I'm like talking to him through Instagram, I see him with a bunch of like royal little pugs around, like on these long like red carpets, just following him around. Yeah, I don't know. It's
Sir Pugsley.
Sir Pugsley Von Pug. Yeah, harass him on social media.
Yeah.
Shame him for not being here right now. I'm just kidding. Feel better, Andrew. Hope you're feeling better.
Definitely feel better, man. You were here in spirit, man. But everyone, make sure you send him well wishes. Don't harass him because he wasn't here tonight. Just send him well wishes.
You
No,
can
go harass him. Go
Harass
harass him. Go harass him. Harass him.
I won't condone it, but everyone can do whatever they want to do. I can't stop anybody.
That's good.
That's true. That's good. Disclaimer.
Disclaimer. You're good. You're
Sorry,
covered.
Von Pug.
You're covered.
But I gotta say, first and foremost, Tom, Josh, thank you so much for giving not only myself, but the radio station airways with a bit of your time. Honestly, Josh, it was so super cool being able to chat with you again and have you back on the radio station. Tom, it was super great to meet you. I really hope down the line we can make a carpet ride or a tug of war interview happen again. Whenever you guys drop new music, definitely hit me up. If you send it, we here at 99.9 Punk World Radio FM are definitely going to spin it. Tom, Josh, again, thank you so much. Definitely have yourselves a phenomenal night. We definitely shall talk again here soon.
Hell yeah, bro. Thank you.
Appreciate it, dude. Thank you so much.
Take care of yourself, man. Thank you.
Take care.
Appreciate it.
You're most certainly welcome, guys. You take care as well.